Alright guys, welcome back into another Group 4 online racing GT Sport. We're gonna start out in 5th and we're gonna drive the Mégane, which is currently the most OP car in the game. There's no car that can compete with this one so far. And I really hope the Polyphony Digital patches the game up and nerf this car by a decent amount, because I want to be able to choose different cars and still remain competitive. But anyways, we're racing on the Autodrome Lago Maggiore, which is possibly my second favorite track in the game. The first one is Tokyo. And funny thing, I haven't actually done an online race in Tokyo, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for the daily races to see if it pops up, so I can bring a video of a race in that track to the channel. But anyways, back into the race. We're still in 5th place. As you can see, the first 4 places are all Méganes, and as a matter of fact, most cars in this race are Méganes, because people already picked up on the fact that you can quite compete with the Mégane in Group 4 class. But anyways, this is a fairly high-speed track, so I wouldn't say that there are a lot of overtaking opportunities in this track, because there are a lot of corners where you need to slow your car down considerably. So the position that you start out in is most likely the one that you're gonna be finishing at. So this is one of the things that kind of puts me off the game a little bit, because Gran Turismo Sport sometimes can feel dull. I think I've already mentioned it a couple times before in the channel, but Gran Turismo Sport can sometimes feel a little bit dull because of this reason. You need to set up a good qualifying lap time, and usually the qualifying lap time is what's gonna define which position you're gonna finish the race. There's not much overtaking opportunities because everybody's level, so the races are not that exciting sometimes. So we're still in 5th place. I'm starting to gain a little bit on the 4th place, the American guy. Again, it's weird, like one of the last videos, it's weird for me seeing American guy and seeing my nickname with an American flag right beside it, because I'm Brazilian, but I'm using a North American PlayStation account. So this is why. But anyways, I'm still trying to push and trying to get closer to the guys up front, but as you can see, it's pretty much level, so it's kind of difficult. Unless someone makes a huge mistake that I can capitalize on, it's gonna be a little bit difficult, as the American guy just did. He just drove himself out of the track, and I took that as an opportunity to get to 4th place. So we're gonna try to get the podium of this race. These guys in the first 3 positions, they are really fast. So, well, they might not be really fast, but they're faster than I am. So it's gonna be sort of an uphill battle trying to get closer to them, but I'm gonna try to push as hard as I can in order to get as close to them as possible. We are almost 5 seconds behind the first place, so I think first place is out of question. There's no way I'm gonna be able to catch up to him or her. And we are just a little bit over 2 seconds behind the 3rd place. I don't know what happened there, but the 3rd place kind of pulled away a little bit in there. I don't know what I did to lose so much speed, but something really happened. He might have done something that I'm not aware of that I could be doing in that spot on the track. Now this corner here is one of the corners that kind of is one of the most inconsistent corners for me, because sometimes I'm able to get it right, sometimes I kind of brake a little bit too late. I think the perfect braking point in that corner is when you spot the little gray area off to the right side. That's when you should be braking and making the turn at the proper angle. Usually the corner kind of fools you a little bit into thinking that it's deeper than it actually is, and then that's where you usually go way too deep and wide in that corner. So back to the race, the third place is still ahead of us, it's still a little bit over 2 seconds. The fifth place, which is the guy I think who drove himself out of the track, is a little bit over 2 seconds behind us, so that gives us a little bit of peace of mind, and so I don't have to worry about him being too close to me trying to overtake me. I can focus on trying to reel this guy in front of me in. But we are approaching the end of the race. We're on the final lap in one of the last couple corners before we reach the finish line, so I don't think we're gonna be able to improve our position, so we'll have to settle for fourth place. The fastest lap in the race is 2 minutes and 4 seconds, and we are basically 2 seconds off the pace here. This guy might have had a little bit of penalty, and so he braked a little bit before the finishing line, and just by 5 temps, just 5 temps more, and we would have capitalized on that and got the third place. But unfortunately, his timing was perfect, so he managed to keep his third place intact. Now moving on to the second race of the video, I decided to have another go at it. So we're again in the Autodrome Lago Maggiore, sorry. And this time we managed to qualify a little bit higher up in the starting grid. So we're starting out in second place, just one guy ahead of us. So let's try to keep the consistency and see if we can at least not lose any positions over the course of this race. Let's try to stay in second place. Again, the first place is on a Mégane, but this time the car selection on this online lobby is a little bit more varied, just slightly more varied than the first race of the video. The first race was mostly Mégane, so the playing field was gonna be level anyway. As you can see, there are a lot of Brazilian people in the lobby. I don't often see that. I just often see maybe 1 or 2 Brazilian guys. They're often really fast racers in this game. I didn't expect them to be that fast, but they're really fast, the ones that I've raced against so far. So this guy is starting to pull away from me, but I managed to kind of maybe reel him in a little bit over this set of twisty corners. This is a couple of S's actually, it's not twisty per se. But anyways, I brake just as we come across the 50-meter marker, which is the optimal braking spot for that part, on this car at least. In some of the other cars you need to brake a little bit before that. This corner here you can take flat out if you nail the angle, so this is a corner that you usually manage to gain quite a lot on people that are in front of you. So we are slowly but steadily gaining on the first place. Now this corner is not my best one. I often try to go a little bit slower than I should in that section. I still haven't got the hang of nailing that corner. So this is where I lose a couple of temps usually. So we are fairly close to the first place. The third place is over 3.5 seconds behind us, but he's catching up to us, so I need to be careful not to let him get any closer, otherwise I'm gonna have to worry about two guys, one trying to overtake me and the one that I'm trying to overtake. But anyways, this corner is another tricky one where I remember that one of the very first few weeks in the game, a lot of people used to get that wrong, but by now most people have figured that one out, so this is not a problem anymore. We remain in 4th gear. Now this car, since this car has so much power, you want to stay in the higher gears as much as possible, because if you try to get out of corners in a lower gear, maybe let's say 2nd gear, and you floor it, the car is gonna straighten itself out. So you might drive yourself off the track if you do that. So I would recommend that whenever possible, try to get out of corners in 3rd gear instead. That's gonna get you the smoother exit that you can get out of the corners. Now here we're gonna shift down to 3rd gear. I don't know if it's the proper shifting, but that's the one I take this set of corners at. I take it at 3rd, then I shift it up to 4th, then I shift down to 3rd again. But anyways, this race is pretty much the same since we started. We're still in 2nd place, so that's good. We haven't lost our position yet, and actually we managed to pull away even further from the 3rd place. We're almost 6 seconds behind. 6 seconds ahead of the 3rd place. The 1st place is still over a second ahead of us. So this guy is being pretty consistent with his racing lines and his braking points. So it's kind of difficult for me to catch up to him, let alone overtaking him. So I don't know that's gonna be possible in this race, at least. So we're gonna try to keep up the pace at least and not fall too far behind him. But we're on the final lap. We are almost halfway through the lap actually. Now this set of corners you can take pretty much flat out, but in this spot I kind of got the angle a little bit off, so I had to let off the throttle a little bit in order not to go off the track. That would make me lose way too much time, so that was a sacrifice that I thought it was worth making. Again, braking at the 50 meters marker to nail this corner. The guy in front of us managed to pull away even more. He's over 2 seconds now, so overtaking him is not going to be possible anymore at this point, because we have only maybe 2 or 3 corners left to finish the race. But as you can see, the race is being pretty much dominated by Méganes. Polyphony Digital really needs to fix this. They really need to nerf this car down a lot. I read somewhere that they actually nerfed on one of the previous patches, but if that was the case, they need to nerf it even more. They need to make this car competitive with other ones. As you can see, the first 6 places are taken up by Méganes. So yeah, there's no competing against this car. But anyways guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did like, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more GT Sport content, share the video with your friends and on your social media, helps me out a lot. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.